All right, so recording has started. I've started screen sharing. I have 27 students now are available, are attending the lecture. So if please, the topic or the subject that I'm going to explain is very important. So whenever you have any question, please just don't hesitate to interrupt me and ask me your question. All right, so I'll start with a new topic, which is the control statements. Before doing this, let me just add a few blank slides so we can explain the things. Two is enough. All right, so control statement. Actually, till now, in all the programs that we've written, we noticed that we were executing the programs one by one, instruction by instruction, like starting from include, IOStream, to the second, using, namespace, std, okay, then integer, main, then for example, integer x, cout, enter a number. All right, then cin x, then cout, whatever the instructions that you will return 0 till return 0 till the execution. You notice that we are executing the instruction one by one. First I executed this one, then I executed the second one, then I executed the third, and so on. Now, in this case, of course, it can be used with small programs, with small problems, but sometimes you need to take decision based on a specific condition. That's why we have something called if statement. For example, if a greater than 0, or if a less than 1. So we need to do some control to the program. That's why we call it control statements. Okay, we need to control the program itself. We don't want to go in one direction only from the beginning till the end. That's why I've drawn some drew some diagrams that will explain the idea. So the first instruction in control statement is if statement, or usually we call it if else if. Okay, no need. No, I need it. I have instructions like if, then some condition. Okay, I write some block of code, else if, okay, another condition. Okay, also another code, and it's better to use this blank. So now suppose that I want to check few conditions. So I'll start with if condition. Condition, it means anything like x greater than 0, or a equal b, or any other condition. If the condition is true, then I will execute the code that is written in here. If it's false, it will continue to next instruction. Okay. The other type is if else. So if the condition is true, I'll execute this block. Else, if it's not true, then I'll execute this block, and then I'll continue with the rest of the program. The third one is if condition 1 is true, okay, I'll execute this code or implement this code. Else, if here I need another condition, condition 2, okay, I will execute this one. Then else, I'll execute this one, then I'll continue. All right, so in general, with example will be very much easier to understand, but this is the main idea. So if I have any condition I want to test, or the problem needs using condition, then I will use the if statement. Actually here, that's why it's called if, comma, else if, comma, else. All right. So if is used to check a specific condition, whether it is true or false. If it's true, it will execute the code of instructions, or the instructions or the block of instructions. If it's false, then it will skip them. It allows the program to execute the following code if the condition is true, and ignore it if the condition is false. Then here, not code, condition. All right. Use when the execution of some code depends on some condition. So this is the structure. Of course, I'm not going to write condition. If condition, then execute this code. This is the diagram. Now you are executing here, for example, you've written some, or you wrote some code starting from include, then you reached integer x equals to 5. Then here, you will enter this condition. Okay, let's assume that I want to make sure or to check if x is positive or integer or negative or 0. So I'll put here the condition. I will write, for example, if x greater than 0. That means it's positive, right? And usually 0 is included as a positive number, so x greater than or equal 0. This is just for the first time. Okay, if the condition is true, then it will come and execute this code block. For example, whatever you want to put here, like see out x is an integer. All right. Then after executing this, it will come here and continue the rest of the program. Like, for example, see out end of program. Okay. Now, what if the condition is false? If x greater than or equal 0, if yes, it will go in this direction. If it's false, then it will go to this direction. It will write end of program only. So if I use this program, I put integer x equal 5. So come here, we'll check if x greater than 0, it will go in this direction, execute this block, and goes to continue with the rest, continues with the rest of the program. If it's false, no, the condition is not true, then it will go here. So in this case, if I define integer x equal 5, then I expect the output will be x is integer, is positive, and then it will come here and execute right end of program. Okay, what if I change the value of x to be, for example, -2? Now it will check here. If x greater than 0, the condition is false, then it will not go there. It will continue to here, and the output of the program will be end of program only. All right, so let's write this code. Okay, the question is here, using if statement to find an integer is a positive. So I'll just, I don't need this one, I'll add another slide here. Also this one. Okay, so here, example. Write a program that check if an integer is positive or not. Okay, if the integer is positive, the program writes or prints the number is positive. See, here there's no otherwise. Just if it's positive, it will write positive. What if it's not? It will continue execution. Then here, I will write the program. I think I will change this. It's better. All right. Okay. So what I'll do here, I'll remove everything. Start over again. Include IO stream using namespace std, and then here integer main. Before the end, I will add return 0. By the way, these are standards. You don't need to worry about them. So, okay, here I will define integer x equals 5, as we said. How to write the if statement? If statement is written like if, then open parenthesis, put the condition here. If x greater than or less than, greater than or equal 0. Okay. Out number is positive. Right, and close it. Of course, you can add any number of instructions here. Here, cout, end of program. Right. So now let's test this and see the result. See what I got. I got here the number is positive and end of program. Why is that? Let's just take it here. I will replace this one. No. Okay. Okay, this is the code. Just in case if you want to. No, I mean you need to read it, not just in case. Okay, this is the answer of the question. Now let's discuss it here. Okay, if you can see here, what we've done, we defined here x is equal to 5. Now then the condition, this is the condition till here. If the condition is true, then it will come here and start executing whatever instructions we have. Like if you have more than one instruction, two instruction, 100 instructions, everything will be executed inside these parentheses. Then after it completes executing the instruction, it will come directly and continue here. All right. Now, if the condition is false here, if for example, instead of 5 minus 2, then the condition is false, it will skip everything and comes here. Okay, so let's try it. And for clarification, I'll add another instruction here, or before that. Okay, here I will put, for example, minus 6. Then this condition will be wrong, false. All right, then it will not enter into this block, and it will go directly to end of program. Okay, let's try it, execute it. See what we got? End of program. It didn't go inside these braces and didn't implement the code here. Of course, here, as I told you, you can add more than one instruction. For example, see out, you have entered, or the number is, because the number is X in DL. See, now it will write print the number. Then if it's, of course, here it will not execute more these instructions because the condition is wrong. It's false. The same thing. End of program. Okay, but if we change it to be positive, let's remove the minus and run it. See, I got the number is 6. The number is positive. It executed all the things that inside these parentheses. All right. Do you have any questions? All right. The other type, if you don't have any questions, of course, this is also the answer of the question. Now you can use block of code after if, such as like this one. However, if it's only one line of code, you can remove the curly braces. I'll show you here. If I have only one instruction, assume that I don't have this. Now I have only one line, right? One line of code. Then just if, in this case, if I have only one line, then I can remove the braces. It will give me the same answer. All right? See? The number is positive and end of program. Remember, only if I have one line and I can remove the braces. But here I have two lines, then I have to add the curly braces. All right. Next, if and else. All right. So if and else. What if I want to have more than one decision, to take more than one decision? Now, if the same thing, of course, the same example, x equals 5, the condition assume is if x greater than or equal 0. If yes, it will come and execute this code. For example, see out the number is positive. Okay. If no, it will come and execute this part. There's no other part. All right. Either yes or no. We don't have any other third possibilities. All right. Either yes. That's why the condition it has, or this diagram, the diamond, they call it diamond, has one input, two outputs maximum. It doesn't. It's not impossible to have three outputs. All right. So if it's no, then it will execute this. For example, the number is not positive. All right. Now, both cases, they will come and continue the program here. For example, here, let's say see out end of program. Okay. So in this case, I'm going to use if condition else. Else means if the condition is not true. So again, let's go and execute or write a program. I'll give you a question here. Example. write a program that checks whether a number, an integer, is positive or no, not, or no. All right. If the integer is positive, the program prints the number is positive. Okay. Otherwise, see otherwise here. In the previous example, there were no otherwise. Otherwise, the program prints the number is not positive. Okay. Now, to write this code, I'll go there. If x greater than okay. If x greater than 0 or equals 0, okay, the program will write see out the number is positive. Okay, here see what I'll do. Else again, if the condition is not true, then it will write here see out the number is not positive. All right. So now while executing this, again, let's just take it and see how it will be executed. Now, if integer x equals 6, so the value of x is equal to 6. See the execution, how the execution will happen. If x greater than or equals 0, then 6 is greater than or equals 0, correct. The condition is true, then it will come here and execute this instruction. It will write the number is etc. Now else, if the condition is not true, it will execute this, but the condition is true, then it will skip everything and comes to the end and print end of program. All right. Now the other case, if the condition is not true, for example, x equal -2, then here it comes. Is x greater than or equal 0? The condition is false, right? So if the condition is false, it will skip everything and goes to else and execute the number is not positive, and again continue execution. So this will be executed in all cases, whether the condition is true or false. This part only if the condition is true. This part is only if the condition is false. So let's see the execution. All right. So what we got here, the number is positive. Why? Because x is equal to 6. Then x greater than or equal 0 is true. Then this part will be executed. Then everything else will be skipped and execute the last one. Now, what if I give it a negative number? -4, for example. In this case, the condition will be false, then this part will be skipped. And if the condition is false, this part will be executed. Okay, so let's see the execution. The number is not positive and end of program. All right. So this is the answer of the question. I'll give it to you now. Put it in the slides to Now, we have another option or another type of if. If I have more conditions, in this case, I will define it or I'll name it as if, else if, and else. If, okay, else, if, and else. Three possible, of course you can use only two of them, but it's okay. We'll take example. Now, give me an example. Write a program that compares two integers and print if let's give them names, integer x and y, and print if x is greater than y, x is equal to y, x is less than y. So I have here three conditions, all right? In this case, I have to think of it like this. I have two variables, x and y. X equals any number, let's say 5, and y equals 7. Of course, this value can be changed. That's why it's not they are not fixed. So now, first thing I will ask if x is greater than y, because here I want to check three conditions, right? If x is greater than y, then I will write C out x is greater than y. That's it. Now, if I use else alone, then else cannot take two conditions, because here still I have to check if they are equal or if it's less than. Then I can use else if x less than y, C out x is less than y. Okay? Now here I can write else if x equals y. By the way, here we use two equals, all right? Then I can write they are equal, but also I can remove this part. I'll show you why and how. So here, let's write the program. Okay, here x equal any number. Let's say 5 and integer y equal also any number. Now, if x greater than y, okay, if x is greater than y, C out x is greater than y. All right. Now, else alone is not enough. I have to add another condition. Else if x less than y. Why? Because I have more than two cases. Greater than, less than, and equal. Then I will write here x is less than y. Still, I have the third one, and this one I'll modify it a little bit. So else if x equals y. All right, I write here x, C out x is equal to y. Right, and I'll close this. So here what I have. I have three possible conditions. Here I can remove the last one, and I'll show you in both cases. So let's execute it. X is less than Y. Let's see if this is correct. Yes. Okay. So let me just take it. Okay. See the execution. Now, first, X is equal to 5 and Y is equal to 8. So if X is greater than Y, X is equal 5 greater than Y. Is it greater than 8? Then the condition will be false. That means if it's false, it will skip everything and comes to the next or the instruction after the if statement. Now here, if X less than Y, the condition is true. Then it will go inside and execute this one. It will print this one. Of course, here, else if it comes and check it, or it will skip it because this condition was executed and I use else. Okay, then it will skip after executing, it will skip everything and go to the end of the program, then write end of program. That's why the output is X is less than Y and end of program. Let's see another value if we give another value. Let's make them equal, 5 and 5. All right, run. Okay, so what I got is X is equal to Y. End of program. Let's see how the execution, or how was the execution. Okay. Now X and Y are equal. It will come here in the first if statement and we'll check. 5 is greater than 5. Is it true or false? This is false. Then what we'll do, we'll skip this. And then it comes here and check. X or 5 less than 5. Also, it's false. Then it will skip this and comes here. It will check 5 is equal to 5. This is true. Then it will write, it will print X is equal to Y end line and then comes and continue the execution. Okay. Do you have any questions? All right, very well. So here, what I want to discuss with you. Let me just delete everything.
Mister?
Yes.
Why write 2 equals?
I'll explain to you. This is one of the topics that we will discuss it later. Because otherwise, but I'll let you know. If I write X equal Y, if X equals Y, that means I'm telling X to take the value of Y. We have X equals 5, for example, or X equals 5, yeah. If I write if X equals 7, that means X value will be changed to be 7, and the condition will be true always. That's why they use 2 equals. Okay, this is just for comparison, not assignment. I have assignment, I have comparison. This will be discussed later, but just to let you know. Now, I want to ask you something else. If X is not greater than Y, okay, and if X is not greater than Y, and if X is not less than Y, then what do you expect X to be? All right. If X is not greater than Y and it's not less than Y, what do you think?
Equal.
Equal, exactly. So do I need to write it again? That's why if I remove this condition, I will get the same answer. Because if this condition is not true, if this condition is not true, then for sure this condition will be true. So basically, I wrote it just to make things very clear to you, but then I can remove it because I don't have any other alternative. So I'll give you this as an answer, and then I will add it or give it to you without the condition. Both are correct. Okay, so this is the answer. And also, I can implement it without this. Where is the code? Okay, if I remove this, I will get the same answer. Run. Okay, I got the same answer. Why? Because if the first condition is not true, the second condition is not true, then for sure the third condition is true. So this is also, I'll share it with you just to see the difference between the first one and the second one. Okay. Now, to take an application, I want you to participate in this. I don't want you just to keep waiting for me to answer the questions. I'll give you a question. I want to discuss with you, and to give you full freedom, I'll stop recording after giving you the question. All right. So here, what the question will be. Write a program that reads an integer and check if the integer is odd or even. Okay, I'll explain to you also before asking you to answer it. First, you need to check the condition of an integer is an even. How to check if the integer is even? We said we discussed this before. If you remember, we said take the mod operation with 2. Why? Because if I have, for example, 4 mod 2, that means 4 divided by 2 equals 2 and 0 over 2. So the mod operation will be 0. All right. If I take 5 mod 2, that means 5 divided by 2 equals 2 and 1 over 2. That means the remainder is 1. So if the result of the number mod 2 is 0, that means it's even. Otherwise, it's odd. So I will use this condition to decide whether the number is odd or even. Okay, so I want you now to think about how to answer it. I'll add the first few instructions, which are include IOStream using then integer main. Okay, then inside cout, of course, integer x. Okay, cout enter an integer and read the integer cin x. Here I want you to write your code that will check if the number is odd or even. As I told you, I'll stop recording just to give you the opportunity to discuss freely whatever you want to discuss. All right.